Hey guys, it's Miss Monteith. So I wanted to share a couple of things with you guys that I thought might be helpful for you. A couple of things are new things, and then one thing is not necessarily new, but I want to show you how to do it because I think it really might help you while you're doing your assignments. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is how to split your screen because you are doing a lot of things where you're having to read something and answer questions about it. And that would be a lot easier if you had what you're reading on one side and if you had the questions on the other side. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. Okay. The first thing is you could just, let's say I'm looking right here, I'm looking at my Google Classroom. I'm looking at the instructions and I have this paired passage. Okay. So I'm supposed to be reading this paired passage, but I'm also supposed to be answering questions about it. That can be a little difficult to switch back and forth. So I can take and I can push this little button on my screen. So when it looks like this, that means it's the biggest screen size. If you click it, it's going to make it a smaller screen size. Mine automatically went to half because that's what it was set at, but it may, turn this big, it may turn this big. I don't know what yours will look like. But you can take and you can adjust your screen to be half of, or this page should be half of the screen. So then I can come over here and I can read through and I can even, maybe make this screen smaller. I can hit the control minus button. So what I'm doing on my keyboard, I know you can't see me, but I'm hitting control and then I'm hitting the minus button. Oops, sorry. Which is two buttons over from backspace. And I'm making it smaller so that I can see it better. Okay. So now I have my passage on this side and I want to open up the questions I'm supposed to answer on the other side. So you have to go down here to Google Chrome. Now, if you just click it, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to close out what you have opened. But if you take two fingers and you click your mouse pad at the same time, you'll get this little menu and you click new window. And it's going to make a new window on the other side. So now you can move that, make it exactly the size you want. So now I am going to go back to Google Classroom. And I'm going to go to Classroom. I'm going to open up my assignments for the day. Sorry, mine looks a bit different. And I'm going to open up my questions that I'm supposed to answer. Okay, so here's my question for the day. So now when I'm trying to answer this question, I have my passage right here. So I'm not having to constantly flip back and forth between tabs to try to figure out what I'm doing. So I thought that might be helpful for you guys. And when you're done with that and you don't need two windows open at the same time anymore, just close one of them out. And make the other one big again by pushing this right here. Okay, and then I'm going to make my screen bigger again by pushing Control plus sign. Control plus, Control plus. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show you is they pushed out a couple of new extensions on your computer. So if you look up here in the top right hand corner, you're going to see some things. And those of you, if parents are listening to this, if you have kids that struggle to sit at the computer for a long period of time, and I know that you do because we know they struggle to sit for a long period of time, they have pushed this out and it's a red with kind of like a white circle, and you click it and it says move it. and it sets exercise intervals. So if you click on it, you can set it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, whatever you want it to be. And then you just click off of it, and every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever you have set, it's going to pop up on a red screen, kind of like it did on mine a few minutes ago, and it's going to say stop. And it's going to give them an exercise to do, but they don't have to do what it says. They could just get up, they could move around, they could stretch, they could do jumping jacks for about 30 seconds, and then they sit back down and they hit done, and it takes them right back to their computer. So that's a great way to give kids breaks without parents having to monitor it. Another cool thing is this visor. So if you click the visor, it is going to block out most of the page, except this little bar right here. So when I move my mouse, it's moving up and down. Now I messed with mine. Mine was a little more red at first and I didn't like it. So you can change the colors. If you like purple or whatever you want it to be. That one's kind of cool. So you can mess with this a little bit. But it helps to block out the distractions of the screen. So if I want to read this passage, Climbing the Sweet Cliffs, as I scroll down, this scrolls down with me. And so there's also a way to make this bigger or smaller. So I can make it wider or I can make it more narrow so that now it's really just one line at a time. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys so that you know that's there. That might be helpful for the kids as they're working on some of this stuff. And as always, if there's anything we can help you with, please let us know. Bye, guys.